Welcome back to the Puncher's Chance YouTube channel. I'm delighted to be joined today at the Prosperity Boxing Gym with none other than the surgeon Ben Whittaker. Ben, how is it to be down here, down in Cardiff?
It's good, good to give back. Gym opening up, giving more opportunities to hopefully up and coming boxers. I sparred two of the guys down here, so I stayed in touch with the coaches and we came up and opened up the gym for them, so it was a nice day.
Now, the last time I was here doing some boxing work in Cardiff was when Lauren Price, obviously a fellow boxer fighter, was fighting here, and there's rumours going around that there possibly is another card coming to Cardiff relatively soon for boxer. Is that something you might be tempted for coming down here?
Maybe so. I've got a lot of love down this side of UK. Lovely place. I've been down here sparring with the national team as well when I was on Team GB in England. So for me, it's home from home, you know. So if it is, and I get the call up, why not?
And obviously the talk is at the moment, you haven't got a fight announced, you come off the back of a fight, everyone's going to be asking, when are we going to see you next? When are we next going to see Ben Whittaker? Boxer have recently, they've managed to get themselves on a card with Riyadh Season in London. Is Saudi Arabia, that side of boxing, something that could interest you?
Yeah, you know, I'm getting all sorts of calls, which is exciting. But for me, I just got to focus on just the now, really. I'm in training camp as of now. I've been given the end of September, October time. So for me, that's what I'm gearing up for. And whatever I come out with, I'll make sure I put on a show.
And we're here in a beautiful gym, like you said, it's state of the art, and your own gym, if you don't mind me saying. I've seen some videos. It's different.
It's humble.
It's humble.
It keeps you humbled, you know what I mean? A gym like this, I would love a gym like this, but for me, as long as it's got a coach who's willing to train you, as long as it's got a bag and a ring, you can make do with it, you know. I've been to state-of-the-art gyms, and sometimes they don't make the champions, where sometimes coming from a gym like that keeps you hungry, keeps you humble, keeps you dedicated. But I wouldn't mind this. You know, I mean, if you drop your gum shield in my gym, you gotta burn it, man.
And obviously, you have to walk through a pub. Is that right, to get to the gym?
Yeah, it's a very strange gym. So I brought some sparring partners, and I don't actually tell them where to go, but there's a walk around where you go straight to the boxing gym, but the actual first entrance is a pub. So you're walking in, people are having pints at like 12 o'clock midday, then you walk into the gym. It's very bizarre, but I like it, you know. I'm keeping with normal people. They know I'm training hard next door, and they're having a time of their lives, so it's a nice little combo.
And are you ever tempted for that post-workout pint, you know?
No, I've never drunk in my life, you know, and I have saw some people get a bit messy in there, so it's a good reminder not to drink.
Fair enough. And we've got Andy Clark here today, and I only bring Andy up because there was a little bit of a back and forth between you, and this isn't a diss on Andy at all, but people do question Ben Whittaker. They go, you know, the style, the disrespect, so to speak. What's your response to that? What do you think? Why do you think we need a Ben Whittaker in boxing?
I just think you need a character in the sport. The one thing I've always been brought up on is manners and things like that. So my mum and dad would never let me be disrespectful. But when I'm in that ring, that's when my boxing character comes out. That's the surge, and that's when I put on a show. And love or hate it, it brings something different. There is a time and a place where I can really switch on and box. People saw that in the Olympics, but for now, I'm enjoying it and having fun. And I think someone needs someone like me, a bit outspoken. They'll say things that are not supposed to be said, and it just keeps the people on the toes.
And a man who maybe isn't the biggest fan of you, I spoke to fairly recently at the show in Cardiff, was Louis Edmondson. He's a man who very much wants your fight, and I've got a little bit of beef with Louis because he's a Southampton fan, I'm a Leeds fan. They beat us at Wembley. It's a tough day. So what have you got to say to Louis? Is that a fight you'd still be interested in? He doesn't think you're interested in that fight.
Well, you know, everybody's calling me out for a reason. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything, and I'm the cash cow, so tell him to get in line, do something to ruffle my interest, and we'll see.
And two last questions for you before we wrap up. The first one is, obviously, you mentioned you sparred with the likes of Tosin. We've also got Elizabeth Ashoba here. I'm not sure if you've seen her fight.
Yeah, we spoke,
Tidy, a Nigerian fighter. How good are those two fighters? I'm a big fan of them. I lived in Nigeria, so I love those guys.
You lived in Nigeria?
I did, yeah.
How long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Little part-timer.
Man, that must have been very strange.
Yeah, it was cool, but I love those guys, and in my head, they're destined for the top. Can you confirm that, or can you say that, you know, hard work is what gets in there? What you say?
Yeah, I sparred Innocent and Jordan, is it?
Jordan Withers.
Yeah, people like that, if they're willing to travel all the way from Wales, I give them money. Sometimes I just spoke to them off camera. I said, if you want to come down again, I'll pay for you, put you in a room. I think it's always good to look after people like that. They're boxing for their life, really, and their futures. And the game, they come down, give you great rounds. I've not actually seen the girl box, but she told me, she got a title as well? And
WBC
I could see in her eyes as well. She got that look. She was like, yeah, I'm fighting in Dubai and this and that. And when someone's got that hunger, I love it. You know, coming from that part of the world, it must be hard as well. So I just love to see people create their own legacies, their own futures, and set up their families. You know, that's what boxing's about.
And you said legacy and future, and the Olympics are obviously starting very soon, and that's somewhere you started up your legacy and your future. And I imagine there's sort of two different feelings from what I've seen from your interviews, a lot of pride, but also maybe some disappointment to not go all the way. How important it is for those fighters that are there, and how important was it for you to fight in the Olympics and have that start?
I think it's having that mentality. You know, if you told me a couple of years ago just being an Olympian, I would have been happy with that I'm an Olympian. But when you go there, if you settle being an Olympian, you get forgotten about. And the whole build-up is gold medal, gold medal, gold medal. And falling one short, of course you're upset. And that's just my mindset. I was never happy, but it's opened up many doors for me. I'm very privileged to be an Olympian and to represent your country. You know, not many people can say they've done that. And the new crop that's there now, you've got to get behind them, because time goes like that. If I rewind the time, I'd like to enjoy it a bit more. But people say enjoy it. It's very hard to enjoy it when your life's on the line, really. That's how I looked at it. So it is tough, but you got to enjoy it, and I'm rooting for them. Hopefully they can bring some medals back.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you on behalf of Sean for obviously coming down for this event. We will be keeping an eye on you. The world will be keeping an eye on you, I'm sure, for your next fight, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.